Hi everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. So today I'm going to do a stitch with me, and this will be one with some chat. I will be going through your lovely comments and seeing what you guys have had to say this week. It is pretty much a Geckorouge week this week for me, and today I am working on this piece. This is Bizarre Bookshelf. Artwork is by Colin Thompson, charted and kitted by Geckorouge. This was my Christmas gift last year. I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross on some 25 count. I'm up just over 1%, 1.06%, 4,300 stitches done, and I haven't done any stitches on this as yet today. So we're going to crack on and get some stitches in, and as I said, I'm going to go and have a look at your guys' comments as well. Camera may very well move around a little bit in this piece. So, okay. Just finding the beginning of my comments. So I'm starting at Flosstube 17. There we go. Okay. So hope everybody is doing okay. I'm okay, back to work this week. A short week though. Bank holiday means a 4-day working week for me, which is rather nice. It means at the weekend will turn up a bit quicker, should I say. So I had a good week off. I did lots of walking, I did a bit of gardening, did a few other bits and bobs around the house, and plenty of stitching. If you've seen my latest Flosstube, I actually got in over 12,000 stitches, which I'm super pleased with. Like I said on my Flosstube, I get it that I do a lot of stitches. Not everybody can. But I am lucky to have a lot of stitching time available to me. I wake up early. I start stitching. Well, my alarm goes off at 5:30. Sometimes I get up straight away. Sometimes I don't. So, and I start work at 9. And between me getting up and about 8:30, it's pure stitchy time. Andy is very kind and makes sure I have a drink, and I don't tend to get breakfast until I'm actually at work. So yeah, I am really lucky to get a lot of stitchy time. Because I work from home, I don't travel, so there's some time saved. Andy is the Mr. Mum, the house husband. Because I work full time, he does not. So he does, oh, sorry about that. He does quite a lot of the housework and things. I stitch through my dinner break, my meal break. And then after I finish work, once I've had my evening meal, and it is then stitchy time. There's some days where I have something to do, like I go to the supermarket on a Monday and do the weekly shopping. Oh no, that's in the wrong place. I go to my slimming class on a Thursday. My stepdad comes here on a Sunday. So some time is taken with that, and other bits and pieces as well. But yeah, I do get a lot of stitches in. So yeah, I had a good week, and I packed in quite a lot. I do sound a bit gravelly today. I was talking on Zoom all day yesterday. I should be doing the same today. And then I've got my live, it's Wednesdays I film this, I've got my live stream tonight, so I'll be like gravel all day. So I've got some comments to share with you guys, which I should be getting started on in a moment. Do keep writing your comments, because they do help with this Stitch With Me. An hour and a half of stitchy time to fill. But yeah, your comments are great. Even if you just leave me an emoji, it all helps. If you do like the video, do give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm, helps me get seen. And YouTube is my pleasure to do. I like to share my love of stitching with you all. So yeah, it's quiet in the house at the moment. I've just got Hannah in. She is also working today. She had the week off with me last week, which was rather nice. It meant that we could go away, go out, go do walking and things together. But she's also back at work today. She was at the dog rescue yesterday doing a dog walking, and today she's back at her normal job. Excuse me. So, like I said, I do have some comments. They start at Flosstube number 17. So if you've contributed a comment, thank you very much. The first one is from Enid, who is itching for stitching, and she leaves me a smiley face, so thank you, Enid. And then the next one, oh, come on, open up, thank you, is from Norma. And Norma says, the more I see the progress on Envy, the more I love it. It really is one of my favourites, but Witchy Cat holds a close second. Witchy Cat, of course, being my last new start of the 17 planned ones that I'd had. Yeah, Witchy Cat is lovely. She then goes on to say 21 degrees is great walking weather. We went from 6 to 30 within the last week. That is a huge jump. I just don't know if it's safe to put away the winter clothes and bring out the summer ones. Yeah, this last couple of days has been quite cold here. Just move my needle minder. Last couple of days has been quite cold here. We were at the coast on Monday. We went out for the day, and we found that it was rather cold, sea breeze. Andy seemed to feel it quite badly which is unusual for him really. But we had a nice day out, even though it was probably a good 8 to 10 degrees cooler than it had been when, in fact more than that, when me and Hannah were walking, the highest it got to was 27 degrees. On Monday, I think it was about 12 or 13, so it was a lot colder. What we tend to do is we go on a bank holiday Monday to the coast, and of course Monday, as I said, is my shopping day. So we then go into the supermarket just outside of the place where we were at. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes from home, so it doesn't take very long. So there's no chance of the shopping getting spoiled in the car. She also then says, thank you, Nicola, for sharing your lovely stitching. Thank you, Norma. No problem at all. So that is Norma's comment. Thank you very much. Again on Flosstube 17, Kathleen Card says, having a good day stitching. Good, very glad to hear. I do appreciate a good day of stitching. Lots of people do say that I inspire them to pick up their needle, which is lovely to hear. Let me just grab a drink. Diane Miller says, I've missed Envy. It was so nice to see the project again. By the way, you look terrific today. Walking is great for you. Thank you, Diane. I'm working very hard at the moment. I am doing what I can to keep myself fit and healthy, and the walks obviously are a big part of that. Me and Hannah on a Sunday tend to go out and have like a 2-hour walk, and we try and go out in the week as well. It doesn't always work, but we do try and get out. But last week, we got lots of walking in. Went to the Hobbycraft, and we walked home down the riverbank path again. It's just so nice to get out in the fresh air when it's nice. I think I spoke to the doctor about it, and I said, because obviously you guys who've been here for a while will know that I do have an anxiety disorder. and she asked me, she said, do you think you're depressed? And I said, well, no, not really. I said, because I do everything I can to prevent that. She says, how do you mean? I said, well, I go out and I walk, and walking releases endorphins, and endorphins help lift your mood. I said, so I will, do a lot of walking. It's something that I do enjoy. And the doctor was really pleased about that. So I plan to keep on walking, and Lauren wants to get a bit more active as well. So I think she's going to come out and do some walking too. It really is the best exercise. Lauren will be leaving school start that again. Lauren will be leaving school shortly. In a little over a month. And that's it. No more children in school. I have spent, now let's see, Hannah is 23, and she was 2.5 when she first went into a school setting. She went into a preschool. So I've spent just over 20 years dealing with schools with the 3 girls. And schools do not make it easy. I've had some rough rides with schools. I've all had issues which I've had to resolve. I've had battles to get my children the right provision. Let me just move my camera. I'm going back over this side now. Especially with Hannah and her autism, it's been very difficult. But we've persevered and prevailed. I'm glad to finally, or almost finally, the school system being no longer applicable. Okay. Maggie says, might not be able to do the sound as I don't know how to download the chart. Can anyone help? So I did reply to Maggie. So with Etsy, once you make a purchase and you've paid, you'll get an email with the download. And then following the download, you can print it or upload it to your drive or however it is you store your digital pattern. I hear footsteps.
No, you don't.
Can we just not be doing that now? Everything is a no with you. Good morning, Hannah. Okay. And Maggie did post in the group that she had indeed been successful and managed to download the chart. So the cell is a go for her. So I'll just reiterate the cell stitch along. The details are in the box below. Even though May has started, it's not too late to join in. If you are not a member of my group, do feel free to join by answering membership questions. They do help to screen out bots, so it is important that you do answer them. If you don't answer them, it will be declined if I can't identify you as a stitcher.
Or as a human.
Huh?
Or as a human.
I can't hear what?
Or as a human.
Or a human, yeah. In the group, if you click on the events tab at the top and click on the Stitch Mania Sal 1, you will then find in there pictures of progress that people have made so far. Let me just part this thread. Is it there? Let me just check and count. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, next comment is from Kathy Brown, who leaves me a heart. Thank you very much. As I do say, any comment, even if it's just an emoji, is very helpful. So thank you, Kathy. And then our lovely Daphne Chamberlain, comments to say, you've made great progress this past week. What a lucky lady. There are some nice stitchy items. Hope you enjoyed your week off. Thank you, Daphne. Yes, I did have a lovely week off, and the stitching items, indeed, I am super happy to receive those. Oh, come on you go. There's such a lot of colours in this piece, it's ridiculous. There's about 130 colours in it or something daft like that. Laura says, nice to see some of the original whips out for stitches this coming week. We'll look forward to next week's update. Happy stitching and enjoy the warm weather. Thank you, Laura. Yes, a stitching shelf was out last week, and the Lord of the Rings stained glass. It was nice to work on both of those. And, you know, of course, we've got the new stuff in between, which was lovely too. This week is a pure Geckorouge week, apart from Symphony. And of course Night Cafe, which is still getting extra stitches for now. And Sally Ann Cole echoes the same sentiment and says, nice to see Envy out again. Yeah, I like Envy. It's lovely. And at the minute, because it's in the skirt in the green, it's lots of patches of green rather than confetti, which is really nice. $158 colours in this. Oh, sorry about that. Doing well. Then she says, have a lovely week off. Thank you, Sally Ann. I think Hannah had a nice week off too, didn't you, lovey? Yeah.
Not wonderful, that. What's what?
Only if you want to train people.
I'll think about it at this point.
And Catherine Stitches says, what a week to be off. I'm so jealous. Enjoy all your time outdoors and your stitchy time, of course. Amazing progress. Thank you, Catherine. Catherine, of course, being our Stitchy Community Wednesday addict, and not to the day, the person. Oh, bless you, Hannah. Catherine has got a number of Wednesday Addams pieces on the go. It's fascinating to see them and the different interpretations of one person. Yeah, so and yeah, I mean, it was meant to be this week that I was supposed to be off, but of course it's not. Excuse me, for the simple reason that I'm doing some training this week, so my time off did get moved, but I didn't mind. I saw my computer every day, but didn't give work a second thought all week.
I bet they were crying for you yesterday.
Well, when I went back, I actually logged in over the weekend just to send out some Zoom invites. But other than that,
I'm surprised that man around the knees begging me, saying, please, please, go back.
but
You're a story, aren't you?
it's my understanding that it was very busy last week and it is also incredibly busy this week, but I can't get involved in that because I'm busy training, and the ultimate end of my training will alleviate the pressure. So It's a problem when I work in a growth industry. On Wednesdays at live stream, both Kay and Katinka say hello and good evening. I have started to schedule my live streams again because YouTube have, I was doing it last year, but YouTube threw a bit of a wobbly and it wasn't allowing me to broadcast as I wanted from a scheduled stream. But it seems to have, the glitch seems to have been fixed and I was brave enough to try again. So I will be scheduling streams for the foreseeable as long as YouTube continues to be, shall we say, well behaved.
I hit a week before it plays up again.
Well, I really hope not, Hannah. On my starting in it, you know, how I work on even weave video, the one where I discuss about slippage, and you know, how to avoid stitches disappearing. A lady called June Porter say, so happy to have found your video, it makes so much sense now. That's good news, June. Slippage all depends on which leg you're stitching first. Daphne on live stream Wednesday, we were talking about copyright and cross stitch. Now, I am by no means an expert, and I don't know an answer really to the question that Daphne's asking. I'd need to look into it. We were talking about selling of PDF patterns, which is of course under copyright seen as a breach, because the PDF is for the purchaser to use and they shouldn't be selling it on. And the point was brought up about paper patterns and selling them on, and also about finished cross stitch pieces. And Daphne says, watching the replay, what is the feeling on taking a piece from a pattern, stitching it and making it into something else and then selling it? And what about if you mention who designed it? In all honesty, Daphne, I don't know the answer. There are certain patterns out there, I have seen it, that when you look in the small print of the pattern, it might say this must not be stitched for commercial gain or something like that. But then there are other ones such as the ribbon logos, which people can stitch to raise money for charity. So in all honesty, I really don't know. It's such a grey area. But, you know, oh, I'm so sorry. I've been a camera quake. It is such a grey area, but I honestly don't know. If you go to look on eBay, you'll search for completed cross stitch. There's quite a lot in there. So people do make and sell cross stitch. I myself, a long time ago, when my family and I were desperately in need of money, when my ex-husband and I had separated, so long before I was sort of doing YouTube or anything like that, I actually sold some of my completed cross stitch, and I do regret it because you know, some of those pieces were just gorgeous, but it was the only way I could feed my family. Does that make it wrong? In some people's eyes and minds, yes, it would, because you're defying the designers or the manufacturer's instructions by, you know, potentially by selling a piece that it says you can't in the small print. But, you know, am I wrong to want to feed my family? It's such a grey area, and very difficult. I mean, if you couldn't sell completed cross stitch or sell on partially done kits or anything like that, then places like charity shops would have no business in having cross stitch items for sale. You know, and craft items in charity shops are quite popular. Mona is sending love and hugs for you and the family. I'm steadfast, praying for kindness in this unsure world. Thank you, Mona. Mona's referring to I am needing all of the financial support, if you like, that I can get. So by simply watching the video, allowing the adverts to run and things, you are supporting me enormously without it costing you anything. I have issued instruction as regards to this house with a solicitor and my ex-husband. This could end up being very costly. So liking, commenting adds to the algorithm, gets more people viewing. I know I keep saying about this. And allowing, if not all, at least some of the adverts to play is a great help too. And doing things like, if your computer is running but you are not doing any particular work on it, but you need to leave it on for whatever reason, pop on one of my playlists and go and do whatever it is you need to do, washing up or whatever. And yeah, it all helps massively. Every penny and all that. Yes, you could argue we just had a day out as a family and there was an expense involved in that. However, that was something I'd budgeted for before issuing this instruction. So I'm not asking people to support me on my family jollies, just to support me as a human being, as an individual, in my bid to become finally financially separate from my ex-husband. Okay. I'm trucking along this morning. Sandy leaves me a heart as well. Thank you very much, Sandy. And on my magpie stitch with me, Laurie says, love the colours, nice progress. Thank you, Laurie. Yeah, the magpie's got some gorgeous colours in it. And not a stitch of black. There's no black on that floss card. Dark brown, dark blue, dark grey, and some greens for the wings and feathers. But no black. What are you mooching about for, cat? And there's upstairs. Go and mither her. Oh, she was cross with us when we came in on Monday. Spent the first half hour of us being in the house just howling at us, as if she was admonishing us for daring to go out for the day. Part that one as well. Kathy Brown on Wednesday live stream says, thank you for your videos. I really enjoy them. You're very welcome, Kathy. I enjoy making them. YouTube is now pretty much an integral part of my life. I do enjoy making my videos and spending the time chatting, whether it be on a stitch with me or making my Flosstube or hanging out with you guys on live stream. It's really nice. Kay leaves me quite a long comment on my last new start. Sorry, just having a drink. That being, of course, the Witchy Cat. Cats are always popular. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm so thirsty. All this talking. Kay says, I'm kind of sad that this is the last of your new starts, as I've been enjoying them. By the time I have started all the new projects I have planned for the rest of the year, I won't be far behind you. Presumably that means in the amount of whips that you'll have, Kay. She then goes on to say, I'm really enjoying your rotation and can't wait to see your progress. And I'm glad your stepdad's eye was a success, and that he is keeping well. I love hearing about your family news, as it's just me, as my daughter has moved in with her boyfriend. So I sometimes miss the chaos and noise that comes with family life, but I get my fix in the live streams and Stitch With Me videos. Yeah, as you guys know, certainly if you've been around for a while, although it was a little chaotic in my last Flosstube, I don't mind it, because this is my home, yes, but it's also the girls' home and Andy's home, and I don't want them to tiptoe around just because I'm filming a video. They are more of an important part of my life than anything. Although, you know, I don't want them to go overboard. They are my family. They are the people that I spend most of the vast majority of my time with, and I don't want them to feel that they can't be involved. It's realism for me. We are really a closest knit family. The girls and I have a great relationship. Oh, I keep doing that, I'm so sorry. Girls and I have a great relationship, so and long may it continue. Well, the two girls that live at home with me and I have a great relationship. We'll not talk about number 3 or the middle child, but there we go. I'm glad you're enjoying my rotation. Ebony has adopted it in Stitches with Ebony and also seems to be enjoying it. The only thing is that it is a long time between projects, between rotations, which is, I think, why come the end of May I will be going back to focus on a finish. I think the first piece, obviously, that will get finished will be Symphony, and then I'll be working on probably one of the cats and so on. I've got a spreadsheet that shows what pieces, how many stitches each piece has left. So I'll be able to judge that. We'll get whipping down. And of course, the more stitches that I get in on and focus, more finishes I get done. Yes, I'll be bringing in some new starts after every 2, but the most pieces I get done, I start to get to the pieces of 100,000 plus stitches fairly soon. because there aren't many that's under 100,000 stitches. I said a few days ago that I will potentially get at least another 3 pieces done this year, which will be nice. One, 3. But yeah, the more I can do, the better. So let's have a look. One to rule them all is also a fairly small one. But apart from Symphony, the next one that's closest to a finish is Christmas Cat. Christmas Cat, then it will be the Witch Cat, then the Unicorn, then the Bee, then Magpie, then Evelina, and then one to rule them all. So those are all the pieces with less than 100,000 stitches to go. The biggest one is one to rule them all with 77,100 since the last time I updated this spreadsheet. So yes, the case is my very best to everyone and give Angel a few extra treats from me. She's a spoiled cat, she really is. She doesn't like the Dreamies treats. It's very weird. She used to like the Whiskers treats, but she went off those. She tends to like the Felix ones, different kinds of Felix ones. The goodie bag. Strange kitty cat. Mona on my stitching shelf says the bookshelf looks amazing. It certainly does. Regular size max colour, I think, has a certain something to it. I'm glad I got the regular size max colour rather than the super size. I have 2 super size pieces, well 3 if you count the Lord of the Rings, the map, the Realm of Middle-earth map, because it's a similar amount of stitches to Daughter of the Deep. So I have 2 big pieces, 3 if you count the Realm of Middle-earth map, and I'm glad I didn't do super size max colour for the stitching shelf. I really am. I don't think I'll lose anything particularly by having it regular size. I do enjoy stitching on it and seeing what comes out. And then on the same stitch with me, Enid leaves me a wave. Thank you, Enid. It's so nice that, you know, I have such a lot of lovely friends in this community. It really is. Number 9. okay, chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look lovely. I might just go off shotting this one because I'm going a few stitches down in the third square down. I will be back. Okay, Cheryl Mathers says that she works on 3 cross stitch projects a week. That's great, Cheryl. I know that you're doing great guns on your Disney cross stitch, and I love seeing the progress on that one when we do sew and tell. And you're a super neat stitcher. It's all good. Okay, so I'm just going to go 6 stitches further down, which you may not see. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, wait a minute. I'll count that right. Yeah, 3. Are you almost ready, chicken?
Yeah.
You don't want to be ready, do you?
No.
Oh, 5. And
I'm going to be lonely.
oh, why no tan?
Well, no, because it's Wednesday.
Oh.
But there's no showing either.
You'll be fine.
None of my friends are on. I've got no friends till tomorrow.
Well, maybe it's an opportunity to make a new friend.
These people don't want to make friends.
Let them crack on. Don't forget to take your lunch, will you?
Already got it in my bag.
Okay, cool.
Tomorrow and Friday will be fine though, because Tan's on tomorrow. One of my friends is on tomorrow and Friday too.
Cool.
And I ain't seen her for ages. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, Joe Sorensen says on my Stitch With Me with the stitching shelf. Hi, Nicola, Andy and girls. Sorry to hear the X is making things hard again. I'm rooting for you in the current battle and here accepts the offer. Things have been busy and I'm trying to watch and catch up. I picked a good time to help the income stream. I miss seeing the shelf. I forgot about the fan above the spot you're working. It's just beautiful. I think show and tell is a great addition to the lives. All the projects are beautiful. Keep smiling and happy stitching. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, the stitching shelf details are just gorgeous. Oh, excuse me, just gorgeous. And so we're a quarter of the way through as well. Just have a look actually, see how many stitches stitching shelf's got outstanding. Stitching shelf, where are you? A stitching shelf has 276,650 stitches remaining, so in the grand scheme of things, not a lot. Are you almost ready for the off, kiddo?
Yeah.
Poor Hannah doesn't want to go to work today.
I never want to go to work. I just have to.
The hazard of having time off with Mama. You don't want to go back.
Right, I'll go.
All right, chicken. I'll see you later. Have a lovely day.
I'll try. Can't promise.
You'll be fine.
Bye.
Love you. And that's Hannah off to work. Okay. Karen Ennis on Stitching Shelf says the stitch looks fabulous. Yep. I am enjoying my Stitching Shelf journey enormously. It's been ongoing a couple of years now. I'm not kidding, I enjoy all my stitching. But yeah, Stitching Shelf is such a, the spring shelf almost being done, it's such a bright and beautiful shelf. It's gorgeous. And Linny Stitches leaves me a wave and a smiley emoji as well on my, oh, that was a bit daft, wasn't it? Gone straight through the thread. She leaves me a smile and a wave on Stitching Shelf. Thank you, Linny. I'm going to have a look and see if I can use this thread up anywhere else. Try not to put partial pieces of thread on back on the thread cards if I can help it. Just move along. Then Kelly comments again on the same one, the Stitching Shelf video, to say, hi Nicola, best wishes for your problems with your fool of an ex. I'll put a playlist on while I sew on Tuesday and leave the ads going for you. Ironically, as I'm typing this, 2 ads just played. Oh dear. Thank you, Kelly. It's much appreciated. I know that you're off busy camping, and I do hope that you're having an enjoyable weekend. Just count these stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Heather Pearson says, wonderful stitching with you. A few years ago, I was in Newfoundland and viewed a museum exhibit about the Titanic. The next day, we went to the most eastern point of Canada, a few kilometres from the museum, and it was very emotional to look eastward towards where the ship had sunk, so near, yet so incredibly far from rescue. It was a very sobering experience. Yeah. I think you kind of get that feeling when you do go somewhere where an event like that has happened. It's this time a few years ago, Andy and I actually went to Auschwitz in Poland, and that was the most sobering experience ever. I remember being stood at the train tracks and feeling very angry. I've also been to sites in the UK where people have been, YouTube's funny with algorithms, so shall we say unalived by other persons. And that is also incredibly sobering. I think, that's part of our human psyche to feel a sympathy or an empathy. It's just a shame that we do not have it, well, as individuals, we don't have it in our power to prevent tragedies from occurring. But as a collective, we could all play our part to make the world a better place. Okay, let's go back over to the brown. Number 27. And Celia leaves me a heart, a needle and thread and a kitty cat on my Flosstube 17. Thank you, Celia. I've just come in from a walk. Me and Hannah had been shopping. Monique, excuse me, Monique comments on Stitching Shelf, and she says, had a lovely stitchy Sunday morning with you. I reached a milestone yesterday, 55 years old now. Bless you, Monique. Happy birthday. I let the advertisements run where I normally wouldn't, but also gave me more stitchy time during your video. Happy Sunday to all. Thank you very much, Monique. And all milestones are milestones. I'm quite enjoying this stitch this morning. Not gotten through as many as I normally would, but hey, it's all about the journey, right? Celia says, thank you for the company while I learn how to diamond paint with my left hand. So for those of you who are not aware, Celia had some surgery on her shoulder a little while ago and is unable to stitch as it stands. She says it's slow going, but it's better than not being able to craft at all. Agree, Celia. Yeah, as long as you are taking very good care of yourself and getting better, I'm pretty sure that everybody here is rooting for you. Again, this may just slightly go off shot. A stitch or two. Wendy Stitching says, bookshelf is looking awesome, and we'll let the adverts play. Thank you, Wendy. Rivers Love also comments and says, what is model stitching and how do you get started doing that? So model stitching is where you do a test stitch of a pattern that's been created for a designer or publisher, and once it's completed, send it back to them and receive a payment for doing so. Some people offer model stitching with a choice of free pattern and provide them with a photograph so that they can use it for advertising purposes. But I am fortunate that I'm attached to a publisher and they pay me for my stitching time. So I just got lucky, answered an advert at the right time, showed some examples of my work, and agreed to their terms and conditions, which is not sharing any images of the piece or anything like that, and keeping what I do, the actual nature of the stitching, confidential, and agreeing to receive the fabric and thread and pattern, stitch the piece and send it back within a certain time scale. So I've been doing model stitching for the current set for just over a year, and it is enjoyable. Pieces themselves are always super cute, and the non-full coverage, so it does make a nice change from the full coverage to do something smaller. But yeah, I just struck lucky more than anything, and it was at the nick of time because, you know, I needed the extra income. It is a second job, so it is taxable, and I do a tax return, so it's all legal and above board, and yeah, it's very enjoyable. And yeah, I might get 1 or 2 pieces a month, or I might go a while and not get anything. It's very much luck of the draw. And, excuse me, Mermaid's Cove, Official Mermaid's Cove, Natalia leaves me some hearts, as does Angelique Showman. She leaves me a smiley face and some hearts too. So thank you both, ladies. It all helps. Vardui says on Stitching Shelf, this is the final comment today. She, I believe it's a she, apologies if not, there is no clue unfortunately, says I love it and I'm new to your channel. Always nice to welcome new subscribers, so thank you, Vardui. And that is the last of the comments for today, and we have about 10 more minutes of stitchy time, so that's worked out just nicely. Next comments are on from my latest Flosstube, where we talk about my family of ducks. No. Okay. So, yeah, so today I'm working as ever. Doing some more training today. Oh, just switch my legs over because my legs fall into sleep. Oh. Yeah, doing some more training today. It's quite nice. It's enjoyable. It's a change. And obviously they trust me to do it, so that's a big feather, isn't it, in my cap. I'm live streaming tonight. I'm getting some more night cafe action. I'm really pleased with how Night Cafe is coming along with those extra stitches. I was talking on my Flosstube about it. The projected end date is now in 2042, which has come down significantly. It was 2060. So that I'm super happy with. May just go off shot again here. So yeah, I'm super happy with that. We've had some good progress on it in the last couple of months, but I don't want to get burned out, which is why at the end of the month I'll take it out of extra stitches and I'll just put it on Spare Stitches Saturday, as I'm now dubbing it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, Spare Stitches Saturday. It gets a bit of extra work then. But of course, if I have a model stitch, that will take priority. It's going to be a bit of a balancing act, I think. But hey, it's all part of the challenge. I do enjoy the challenge. I will of course be doing a whip parade at the end of June as well. Which will be cool. Oh, change my feet over again, which will be quite nice. I think it will be slightly longer this time. Certainly with 20 something projects to show. And I have a retreat booked for a week on Sunday, which will also be very nice. Just a day of stitchy time. And again, it was booked before I gave the solicitor instruction. Alright, so I'm just going to fill in this little bit up here. I think on looking on my rotation for the retreat, it will be a Geckorouge kit that goes with me. Emily at Sailing Fairy, Don't River Deep. It should be Van Gogh Never Passed, but I might switch those over. Take Unicorn. Because Van Gogh Never Passed is not a kit. I'm not taking my master set with me. So I might just swap those two and take Unicorn. wherever I take, it'll be a lovely day, I'm sure. And it will be nice to catch up with some stitchy friends in person. There'll be a few regulars who have been at those retreats a number of times who I'll recognise, so yeah. Getting off fingers and thumbs now as I'm coming down to the last bits of my time. Often happens, I don't know why. But yeah, so hopefully another good stitchy week this week. So just while I start on this next row, I'm going to talk about my usual reminders. The 3 videos that come up on your screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please do go take a few minutes and have a look. As ever, I release a Flosstube on Tuesday, Stitch with me on Thursdays and Saturdays, and I live stream on Wednesdays and Sundays at 7:30 p.m. UK time. So if you can join me for any of those, it would be fantastic. Do please remember as well, if you're able to do so, to allow the adverts to run if you can. If they are very, very long, I don't expect anybody to watch them. But if they are short ones, please just allow them to run for me. It'd be much appreciated. So in the description box below, you will find details of all of the patterns that I am stitching. You will also find links and information about social media, Facebook, my email address, our Simply a Stitcher and Friends Facebook group. Please do answer the questions if you're looking to join. If I cannot identify you as a stitcher, you will be rejected. There's also the link to Stitch Pic's photo charting, which is mine and Andy's side thing, and also our my Buy Me a Coffee link as well. So if you do feel so inclined to buy me a coffee, it will be very nice. But if not, and you cannot afford to do so, or do not have enough spare funds, which again I absolutely get, by supporting me by watching the videos, leaving a like, leaving a comment is absolutely fantastic. So I thank you for that. So I'm just coming to the end of this row, and then I'll mark off, and we will see how many stitches we've got in today. And then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, let's just do a little mark off. So today I have done 353 stitches on this piece. A little bit here, and then we filled in, got all my alts there, and we filled in this section here and almost filled in this one, and done a few lines and used up some thread. Let me just zoom in a little bit because that's just a bit too far out. So there we go. So that's how this piece is looking so far. 1.14% complete, so still a long way to go. But thank you guys very much indeed for watching. Thank you for your time, your attention, your likes, your shares, your comments, all that good stuff. It helps me enormously. So thank you, take care, happy stitching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.